All right. Well, hopefully, um, this fixed the problem where I can hear my collaborators. So for a good hour, I could not hear the people talking, which was frustrating, beyond maddening. Um, for all those that were listening, I hope you enjoyed the chat. I couldn't hear anything that was being said, so, but you guys seem to be, rolling through the chat pretty good. So I am happy for that, at least. Um, I would like to talk about it, but I don't have a reference point to talk about because I don't know what was really being said by Vanessa or Tammy. So, but I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. So we're up and running. Hopefully, you guys come back in and you guys could hear me. I just couldn't hear anything. So I just don't know what was being said or anything like that. So when they come back in, we'll pick up where we left off, and hopefully I can hear them. That was an hour and a half collaboration that I couldn't hear a damn thing. So, comments, there we go. All right. What can I talk about in the time being? Somebody asked me if hell was really a place or not, or if hell did exist, because, you've all been taught that through some sort of religion, whatever you believe in, was an actual place. And the answer is no, but let's answer this logically, all right, from the standpoint of all that is. And when I say all that is, that's God, spirit, source, whatever you want to call him, doesn't care. God loved us in such a way that he created us in his image, right? In the likeliness of him. And we are the direct manifestations of our Father, right? So, and his love for us is beyond anything that you could possibly understand. So if you can understand it from that standpoint, and I got to experience that through a near-death experience, right? So I grew up Catholic, believed in what I was told, believed there was a heaven and hell, demons, angels, all that, right? It's a one-way street. There's only home or heaven. There are angels. I have them manifest in front of me in the physical world now for the last 5 years since my death. Why would God create us in the first place to set some rules in the Bible just for them to be broken, right? For us to get around, right? And then for him to create such a horrific place just to send us there, to knowing that we're not going to be able to follow these rules, right? So, I mean, it's ludicrous to even think that there is such a place. Yeah, they're going to come back on. They know it. I just had to restart my iPad, and I couldn't hear a word they were saying. So, hopefully that fixed it. They were talking, I could hear them, and then they just went dead for some reason. I don't know. So let's think of this logically. Why would he even create us? Just to send us to a horrific place, right? A place called hell, right? All right. So no, there is no hell. There is no devil. There is no, it's simply illogic to even think that Father would create such a place to send us, right? This is a non-reality, it doesn't mean anything, right? It's a place for us to grow and evolve, but it's basically a place for us to experience all that we're not, right? And let me give you that example again, all right? Hell is a state of mind. If you choose to live in your own hell, your own fear, your own darkness, your own whatever you want to create, you're allowed to do that. This is the place to do it, okay? But there is no place that you're going to physically go. you're on a journey that goes nowhere. Okay. This is a video game. It's a place for you to experience everything that you're not, right? Because that's what God is. God is, right? But God, all that is, already knows everything conceptually, right? Having a child hurts, stubbing your toe hurts, making love, feels good, joy, happiness, right? He knows these things conceptually, right? But all that is needs to know what all that is not. Okay. So in order for all that is to know what all that is not, he's got to go from the conception stage, right? Conceptually knowing, okay, this is that, knowing. But in order to fully know something, okay, you have to experience it. That is how you know something is real. Okay, you have to experience. So all that is created a non-reality, okay, a non-physical place, aka the universe. It doesn't exist except in your mind. So this is a place where we can go, where a little soul, a new soul, can go experience all that it is not, right? It can experience fear. It can experience pain, suffering, right? It can experience everything that it is not. So let me give you the example, okay? This little soul, right? Beautiful little soul, magnificent in all its glory, as we all are, right? Now, this little soul walks into a room, and this room is the most magnificent white, all right? The same white that I was, that I experienced in my near-death experience when I merged with the light, okay? This magnificent light, okay? Now, when he walks into this room, this white, right? The walls are white, the ceiling is white, and the floor is white, right? Now, when this little soul walks into this beautiful white room, right? He's also the same color white. How does he know he's white? He doesn't, right? He has no clue, because all he knows is that magnificence of all he is in that white, right? So in order to experience all that he is not, this little soul, or us, we have to go into a non-reality. And I can hear her. Oh my God,
Yeah.
there's sound. God said, let there be sound, and there is, right? So now
Yeah.
all the little soul gets to experience all that it is not, right? If all he knows is he's this magnificent white, how does he know that he's blue or black or red or yellow? He doesn't, right? The same thing with having children, making love, going to the movies, or going swimming, or taking a shower, or whatever, right? We come here to experience all that we are not. And some of those things we choose to experience is pain. The opposite of joy is suffering or pain, right? Well, if all we know is joy and love, do we truly know what it's like to feel pain or to suffer? No. So we come here to get that experience, or all that it is not. And that's where we come in, right? So how could God create or experience all that he is not in all his magnificence? He creates us, his children, right? In his exact image, with his exact same creative abilities. Okay? We created the universe. We created the playground in order for us to experience all that we're not, as the little soul wanted to experience, right? So what does Father do? He says, okay, the little soul says, okay, I'm going to go into this other reality, in this other dimension, to experience these things. Then he comes back and he's crying out to God, why have you forsaken me? What is all of this, right? And he comes back, oh, you never forsake me, right? So it's for that very reason. So hello, Jason. Are they coming back? I heard near the experience where people explain that Jesus told them that they will go to hell if they continue to be homosexual or continued in sin. No, that is not true.
I'm gonna explain that. Can I?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, going back to what I was explaining.
I don't know. I couldn't hear. So
Yeah, but I was telling you create your reality. What is our reality? Reality never ceases to exist, okay? And reality is based on, again, emotions, sensations, and feelings. It is that which creates whether we have a body or not. Indifferent. We don't need a body to feel. We don't need a body to be able to sense and to emote. So that's why we never die. So having said that, we create a reality when we cross over whatever hasn't been cleansed from our vibration. For example, and I was speaking about people asking about guilt, Jason. They were asking me about guilt, and I was saying these are low vibrations that come from us feeling since we were little, most probably when we go back, and in biodecoding, this is how it works, okay? When we go back and observe a person that tells me that feel, because I felt it when I was little, okay, for the longest time in my life. So I am unworthy. This is the belief that accompanies guilt. I do not deserve. I am undeserving, right? So right there, people are not gonna value themselves again.
when Tammy left, the mic went again.
And that last time it happened
My
again.
God.
It's so strange.
This is.
It is. Okay, so guys, what I'm trying to say, yes. So our reality, even if we cross over, right? It's our reality still. We're feeling, we're sensing, we're emoting. And since we're feeling, sensing, and emoting, we're going to feel that way, okay? So this person that lived a negative NDE, it is because he's believing, and he was believing all the time that he was undeserving. He most probably felt guilt, okay? He was carrying that vibration, and vibration stays with us. So when we cross over, if we haven't healed those low vibrations, okay, now if I'm here alone, hello, can you listen to me? Am I alone? Okay. Okay, seems like I'm alone here. Okay. Well,
can you hear me?
Yeah. The reality is that we are creating that other reality, which is we don't have a body, but we are experiencing that. So we're going to feel whatever it was that our subconscious believed. If we are undeserving of going to heaven, whatever heaven was for us that we believed it was, other than feeling good, okay? And we're going to create. So we cross over, and what does that person experience? Okay, he's going to experience the low vibrations that I am undeserving of going to heaven because I've been a bad person and I am very guilty of doing this. And all of a sudden, that's what he's going to create on in the other side. The experience is it's gonna match how we have been feeling and all the low emotions that have not been purged and healed from our body. So when we understand this, it doesn't matter whether we're embodied or we're not. Our emotions, feelings, and sensations is what creates our reality. And until we don't clean those and we become very, very self-aware, very self-aware of all the low ones that we've been carrying, okay, all along. And we purposely work on them to bring that vibration up, our experience is not going to change. We're going to keep feeling, we're going to be creating situations here, whether we're here, and also over there if we cross over. But so what goes on when a person dies, when we die and we cross over? If we are in this low vibration, this is what we're going to experience. We're going to experience all the density, the low feelings and sensations that we believe that hell is all about. And that's our hell. We are there. It's something that we are experiencing. It is real, but it comes from our own vibration. So as soon as the person, and you're going to see also that these people that have negative NDEs, which we have heard many times, as soon as, because the experience is so intense, right? The experience is so intense that they feel bad, obviously. They dislike where they are. And the discomfort is so intense that they scream for help. They scream for help. And at the moment, and this is also biblical, at the moment the person screams for help, because he's believing in that moment, in that single moment, he's believing that there is something. He's believing in some kind of hope for him. That simple vibration changes their reality immediately. So they are the good spirits, and good. The experience changes to a good one. They are saved from the bad things they were experiencing. But it is because they had believed they were deserving of help. They were feeling that guilt. They had to go through that cleanse process so that they could realize that all along it was them creating the reality, creating what they are experiencing. And understanding that came from the cumulus of experiences and the choices of emotions that we hoarded and we chose to stay with, that we gave, that we camped inside. This chose to camp inside, to harness inside our body, instead of, I'm not gonna choose to go down that rabbit hole, right? I'm not gonna allow, like I said in the beginning, that fear to overcome me. And I'm gonna look it right in the face, straight on. And I'm gonna recognize it. I see you clearly. You don't have any power over me. I am gonna embrace you because you are part of me. I'm not gonna neglect you. You are part of me. I thank you for what you're trying to teach me. I see the lesson you are trying to teach me, but I choose to let you go. I choose to let you go. I'm not gonna allow you to camp inside me.
And can I say something, Vanessa, about what you're saying? I'm just going to throw my 2 cents in and then you can jump back on. For me personally, when what she is saying and I'm experiencing it, because I did spend many years in the church, I still use certain phrases, and I'll tell you what, they're powerful. Like for me, when I have these thoughts coming in that I know that are not pure, unconditional, loving thoughts, I have no problem. I will say it out loud. I don't care who's standing there. Get behind me, Satan. Get behind me. And I don't have no problem.
That's the way of you expressing yourself. That's the way, because that's our Satan. Okay, Satan is not a thing. It's a
right.
state.
It's a state. Right.
of being.
Feeling of
Yes, it's a
being,
state
of
of
you
being.
choosing.
Yes.
It's not a place. Hell is not a place that we go to. It is a state of how
Mhm.
we feel, sense, and emote, which is what creates always a reality. Always, always.
Remember this, guys. Remember this. When the devil whispers in your ear, you can't handle the storm, you
Mm,
politely lean over and you say, I am the storm.
mm,
Mhm.
Okay. So
yeah,
it's a state of mind, it's a state of being.
Mhm.
It's do you choose to sit in it, or do you choose to say, you know what? Nah,
exactly.
Mhm.
I'm stronger, right? Bye, right?
I
And
see you
I
again.
see you.
We
Yep.
need to acknowledge, because I'm going to tell you what. You are in a physical experience. You need to feel those things, because feelings, sensations, and emotions were meant to be felt. We're not meant to be neglected. That's a problem with us. We neglect them. We don't
Right.
face them fully.
No.
And with time, again, I'm going to answer a question that was made previously. They were asking, because I was speaking about biodecoding and how important it is to understand that everything we experience has a biodecodable emotional history to it. Okay, all diseases and these eases in life,
Ease. Dis-ease.
right,
Yep.
come from, and this is science. This is not come from your low vibrational from your low emotions. Have an emotional history that backs it directly. And I'm gonna show you now. It wasn't the cancer that I particularly had. I had ovarian cancer, but I'm gonna show you how this happens. So I explain it simply, in simpler words, so that you see how, yes, all diseases come from an emotional distress that a person goes through. Okay, when a person comes to me, for example, a breast cancer, which is a cancer which is very known, right? It's very, very common. I know, I know that the pattern, right, that person has behind, this is a person who has, because the breast represent in our body what nurtures a baby when it is born, right? With food. Then that person, that tells me that the behavior, subconscious behavior, is that that person neglects to nurture herself or himself, because there's breast cancer for men also. Okay, so this person is going to be a person that has a behavior of nurturing everybody else and putting everybody else before them, because that's how they learn. Like, for example, and it's going to tell me that most probably this is a overbearing mom, a that wants to control, right? Overbearing, you know what that means. So but has been unable, right, to put herself first, and has been neglecting. And why does this person have this behavior? Because back in the subconscious mind of this person, there is a pattern, emotional pattern, that long ago, okay, most probably she saw, or he saw, her mother being that same, acting in this same way, and putting, for example, their children before, and everybody before. No, I have to attend to this one and to the other one and to the other one, and her needs, her physical and emotional needs left behind. Okay, and so the person needs to realize that that behavior, and feeling, again, guilt, because if I don't act in this way in my life, I am not a good parent, I'm not a good mother. When I attend myself before other people, I feel guilty. And I feel guilty. And so I cannot do that because I'm a mad mother. And so, and you can go check with anyone, that you're gonna see that this is behind what cancer is mainly. Okay, I don't want to say that because there's a lot of details that we need to study. If it's in the left side, there's other things that I study, right, that I explain, and if it's in the right side, another set of circumstances that enter there also. But generally speaking, this is a person that it's refusing to neglect, to nurture herself. Having said that, with time of doing this same pattern of behavior and feeling the guilt again and again and again, and not healing this is what causes the disease to develop in the body, because the body is unable to handle the amount of stress that the situations are going to happen, the circumstances around her are going to happen, okay? So that she becomes aware. But if the person neglects to change that pattern and become aware of the guilt and heal it and purposely heal it, the disease is gonna develop, because the body gets to a point that the accumulation is so much that it needs to get out, express itself, so that it can purge it. And since you're not purging it, the body is going to do it for you. So all diseases are a purge of the body trying to liberate low emotions that can be directly tethered and understood from a scientific point of, so that we can explain people how to heal, how to better themselves and help them become aware what's going on. Okay. It says, is Vanessa a past life regression or something similar? This is my language right there. Well, I'm glad. No, I don't. Well, I don't practice past life regression, but my experience came in a way that I understand all this that I'm speaking. But this is scientific also, because I am certified in biodecoding, and you can go check. I do recommend all you guys that can go and are interested in knowing and understanding how the body speaks. Okay, we are energetic beings, and we have the main chakra system, which I teach about, and you can go also to my channel. I speak about all these things, Evo Life 360. But yes, your body is constantly speaking about what you're carrying in your soul. So when you want to know what is going on in your soul, if you have whatever, it doesn't matter, okay, even a headache, your body is speaking of what distresses you at an emotional level. And when you purposely work to, okay, you learn to speak to your body. Okay, what are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to communicate me? And you learn about these things, you're going to see how everything correlates. And when you understand, you are aware of what your history is, you're going to understand why things have happened in your life the way they have. And you're going to have a broader vision, right, of your life and sense of understanding. And that is very healing. That is hugely healing. I see it with the people that I coach, right? And I see this happening before my eyes every single time. And And we're more than willing, I'm more than willing here to open this discussion in our future, so that people understand the matching behind certain diseases, specific diseases, right? We have Alzheimer's, we have so many. And diseases are only a call from our soul to heal our emotions, okay?
It's a state of mind.
Yes, our state of mind, because this is what creates our reality. Again,
Disease, I told them that disease does not exist, guys. You create it. If you believe, because cancer exists, if you answer that question as yes,
we actually create all of our experiences. Everything that we experience, we create.
You create your cancer. You create your Alzheimer's. You create this. You create that. Again, guys, you misunderstand how powerful you are. Right? When I've said this, your thoughts create your reality.
Again,
so if you say, I have cancer, you're going to have cancer. It's going to manifest in that body in those negative, lower vibrations. You're going to get it. It's as simple as that, guys. So that's what Vanessa is speaking about.
Yeah, our vibration of frequency is everything, guys. Combined with our energy, which equates to our beliefs. Our energy equates, again, that match between what we feel and what we believe together create our reality. But the first trigger is our emotions. I'm always going to say that, always. Belief comes from that trigger, emotional trigger. So the emotions are the first one that we need to address. That is crucial to understand. Yes, definitely. Yep. See any other? I wanted to address that because they had asked that. I was speaking about biodecoding, and somebody said, you mean to say that all sickness comes if a person has low vibration? Yes, that is directly 1000% equals to one thing equals to the other. Okay, and again, we can biodecode and know from the disease of the person what are those emotions and what are those emotional blockages and belief blockages, so that we can heal them. We can purposely heal them. Let me see.
I can't see the comments, so tell me what they're saying.
I love being in all of your presence. Very powerful. Thank you, Ronald. I am very glad that you're here equally. We're here to serve and help.
Me too. Very thankful.
Absolutely.
Be like a tree, strong and steady, rooted in the ground through any storm. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, think about it this way, guys, because that's a good statement. A tree steady in a storm. You know, when you see summer, right? You see that tree in full bloom, right? And a strong wind comes down and few leaves hit the ground. Does the tree wither and break? No. Then you see it come into fall and it shed all its leaves, right? And it's still standing there, right? Does it worry? Does it shake? Does it grumble? Does it fall to the ground and throw a temper tantrum? No. Spring comes around and what do you see? You see the buds on the trees, right? On the branches. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, it's in full bloom, right? It's part of the process. The tree just flows. It just is.
No,
right? It just is. It knows, right? So it's kind of like us. We get lost, as Vanessa said, in our experiences, in the pain, and you just see like the waves rolling in the ocean. It just comes in and it goes, right? It's just the flow. But that tree is steadfast. It stands sturdy, knowing that it's simply a phase, right? That it's going to transition into the next. It's going to bloom. Trees are going to be there. It's going to have a rocking summer. Then, you know, you don't see the tree fall into the ground and pouting because all of its leaves fell away, right? It's a simple transition, guys, right? It's a flow state. Just flow.
Yeah. You're all excellent teachers. Thank you very much, Ronald.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I can hear you and see you both now. Okay. Yeah, because previously when you fall, when your connection falls, that means his
mic
sound
goes.
Yeah, his mic goes off.
So I just,
And
instead of ending the stream, I just shut everything down. And
yeah.
when I popped back in, it was like, all right, I'll just do that next time.
So yeah, we can speak more about that, and you can bring next time perhaps, or if we have a lot of things we can speak about. Yesterday
Yes, we do
we were-
collectively, the three of us.
there's
Yes.
so much information to cover. One stream is never enough, right? But we love to do in this interactive way that we can address questions and necessities that you guys may have. That's what we're here for, to address that and do it in our best way possible, as to bring precisely healing.
Mhm.
Okay, healing. What would the diet look like for someone that is trying to rise the spirit of? Well, I was gonna, when Jason previously said the word inspired, right? And let me explain. Inspired comes from in spirit.
Mm-hmm.
You see, inspired in spirit, in light, in other words, or in energy also, whichever you want to, because again, we can substitute those words. So when we inspired, we're very our vibration emotionally means that we're very high. Okay, but yes, a diet for a person that brings the spirit doesn't need a diet. Okay, because the spirit is energy. And then the best way you can raise your vibration, okay, is aligning. And I'm not, a lot of people have a lot of I personally know now, right? We used to think that eating, being a vegetarian or being vegan and all these, people use, there's a lot of controversy about this, that you need to be a vegan to be a spiritually aligned person. I don't necessarily go and tell people to be vegans or be vegetarians, because I know that every person has a special diet for that particular person. Okay, so I'm not gonna talk about that necessarily, but yes, it is known that when you want to connect more, okay, this is what I do tell my participants or all the time. When you want to raise your vibration, okay, you want to eat clean in terms of not processed food, please. Eat as organic. And when I mean organic, well, nothing that is in a bottle or in a package or in a box is organic. Okay, so coming from the ground, directly from the ground, or as natural as possible as you can. If it's meat, well, clean meat, grass-fed meat, all these type of things that we know are not polluted with all the rest of the stuff, right? Like hormones and all this stuff, right? But the best processor when you want to receive and be more connected, okay, is by fasting. Jesus fasted, right? He was in the desert for 40 days. Why did he do that? It is not because he knew that the body goes through a process of what's called autophagy, okay? And you must have, I don't know if you've heard about it, but autophagy is a natural healing process that takes in our body when we fast. Okay, when we fast, our body self heals itself. And so we are able, when we're in a fasted mood, aside from healing again, our vibration, when we heal, our vibration goes up. Also, water, drinking lots of water. Why water? Well, your body is made of 70% water. We are born out of water. The world is made, right? The world carries also, like our body, 70%. That's not a coincidence. That is meant to be. Because again, as above, so below. We are a repeat of the world is, we have, the universe is represented in our bodies. So 70% of our body, we need water, because water is the best conductor of energy, of vibration and frequency. If we didn't have water, that's why life cannot exist without water. And we are energetic beings. That's our true nature. A light source needs that conductivity, so that information we can receive information. Our bodies need to be clean, so that in a fasted mood, better yet, and water, the best conductor of that energy. So we are gonna feel that our body is healing, and at the same time, those vibrations from the universal field of consciousness, we're gonna able to retrieve in a much easier way that if we are in an unclean state. That's why Jesus fasted, he meditated, right? He went in silence for all those days. That's how he searched for that connection to the divine and to the field. He dealt with that. He knew that was the way that he could connect. So, but generally speaking, when we cross over, the spirit doesn't need a diet, right? Because energy does not need any kind of food. What it needs, the food of the soul, again, it's the quality of its vibration. So when you feed your body with good emotions, good feelings, and healing, you are feeding your soul. You are feeding your spirit. You're feeding it with good things, with true nutrition.
I want to add to that, Vanessa.
Yeah.
Our bodies talk to us. Our bodies, the actual physical cells in our body, talk to us. And food is obviously very important for the human body, but it can also be bad if you're not putting good, clean food in your body. And the way that you know that what you're eating, I'm going to tell you how your body speaks to you. After you eat something, if you hear yourself, regardless of whether it is in your head or out loud, and you say, wow, my stomach is so full feeling, that, and it's a feeling that's an uncomfortable feeling, that's telling you maybe I shouldn't have eaten so much at one time. Or if you eat food and an hour later after you've eaten, you feel a little pain in your gut. Like, I was like, wow, people, I'll give you an example. Somebody going out and mowing down a whole bunch of buffalo chicken wings or something like that. And they're like, man, it is burning in my gut. It's going to burn coming out the other end, That is telling you that is not good for your body. You should never feel those things. Heartburn, indigestion, all of those things are all signs your body is talking loud and clear and saying what you are putting in your body is not good. Mm-hmm. So if you can be conscious about what you put in your body, like fully be conscious about what you put in your body, and slowly start paying attention to how your body responds with what you put in your body. And if you get a gut ache and it's one of those gut aches that you know that you overfilled, then no, the next time you eat, don't eat so much food. You don't need all that food in your gut.
Mhm.
If you have some sort of a pain that's happening in your gut, that's your body saying that what you just ate is not for human consumption. You would not have the pain if it was okay for human consumption. That means there's some kind of chemical or filler or something in that that is not good for human consumption. If you find yourself having heartburn and indigestion, that is your body saying that whatever you put in your body, it is trying to make it come back out. It is not liking what you put in your body. So start being conscious about what you put in your body. And if it feels good and comes out good, like normal, then you know that that's something good. Put that on the list. Okay, I can eat that, or I can eat this, or I can eat that. Oh, nope, that didn't make me feel good. I'm not eating that anymore. And don't eat it anymore. And yeah, you'll have cravings because there's so many chemicals that are in the food now that the chemicals trigger your brain. Like when you pass by any type of fast food restaurant, you smell that smell and you're like, oh, I want some French fries from McDonald's. You smell that smell. And it's because that chemical has triggered something in your brain to respond to that. But you know, those French fries from McDonald's and that dirty grease or the processed fries are not good for your body. None of that's good for your body. No fast food restaurant, I don't care how healthy they say it is. And most restaurants, the best way to really figure out what is good for your body is cook for yourself. Cook yourself. Sample, put all kinds of things together and figure out what is good for your body and not good for your body, because it will speak. Heartburn, indigestion, pains in your stomach, feeling that overwhelming full feeling, that is not healthy for the human body. That is your body telling you don't do this anymore. And either you may know this or you may not, but every night when you go to sleep, you are fasting. And that's why when you wake up the next day and you have breakfast, break fast, you don't have to eat as soon as you get up in the morning.
No.
You can wait several hours to break that fast and then start eating. And just listen to your body. Your whole body has a voice, and your whole body will speak to you. And when you start responding to that conversation, you will feel, if you have unwanted weight, you'll lose that weight. When you start listening to what your body is telling you, that weight will leave. You will have energy that you probably haven't experienced in a long time. So much happens when you actually listen to what your body is telling you and you function in that way rather than in submission to your body, and you function that way and you put what is good for human consumption in your body, regardless of what it is.
All right, guys. When I was established in Wisconsin and I told you that after my NDE and my ascension, I began to eat differently, right? I stopped all fast foods, processed foods, anything out of a box, anything out of a can. Unfortunately, in my situation, I can't do that. But the Spirit said, Jason, you're eating healthy. How was I doing that? We're coming into the time of year where it's spring, right? Farmers markets, guys. That's where I began to shop in the summer months. I would get fresh mushrooms. I would get fresh zucchini, squash, all of these things, right? I got the best olive oils, right? I got the best red leaf lettuce and healthy organic foods. And I began to eat more salads every day, right? Yes, as we talked about eating meat, it's fine as long as it's healthy, grass-fed. I would get brown eggs. Why? Because they're cage-free. They're out there eating healthy things. They're not being injected with the chemicals, right? So Spirit knew I was losing weight. I was eating healthy. I was eating meat. I was eating salads. Strawberries, they're red. What's red in your body? The root chakra, right?
Mhm.
Your primal, right below your groin. That's healthy. Red grapes, excellent, right? Use avocados or, again, olive oil, but healthy olive oil. If you read most of the olive oils in the stores, they're very unhealthy for you. Okay, shop around. They're on Amazon. There's healthy olive oils out there. They're more expensive, but you get your bang for the buck or your health. So,
And if you're not spending money at fast food restaurants, you can afford that little bit more expensive olive oil.
That's correct. So when I, part of my frustration is I'm sick of living like this because I can't eat healthy. I have no place to cook. I can't make anything. So a lot of my crap comes out of a can. And I don't like it, right? Yes, I can eat tuna fish. Yes, I can get strawberries, but there's no way for me to keep anything like eating my salads, the zucchinis and stuff like that I can chop in my salad, the green peppers and stuff like this. There are healthy ways to eat that your body will respond very positively to. Okay. And overeating is a sign of lack, right? So they would call that a sin, gluttony, right? Well, Jesus is telling you that you're fearful that you're not going to be able to eat tomorrow. So what do? You start stuffing your face, right? We're all guilty of it. And that's when your body is, as Tammy said, you feel, right? You overate, and more than likely you overate a pile of crap. So look for your farmers markets, guys. Go shop, go look. Fresh asparagus, fresh, mushrooms, fresh lettuce, tomatoes, big, beautiful tomatoes, not pumped full of chemicals, right? Where you can, in some places, get raw milk if you're a milk drinker, right? And all of the healthy things are out there, but get out there. There's ways to find them. You don't have to go to the corner store, right? Or the Walmarts or wherever. Go to the smaller stores, okay? To the smaller Sprouts or whatever, where they have the healthier foods in there for you guys, okay? Eat a salad, right? When you wake up, have a salad for dinner. Have a small piece of tuna with it, right? Healthy, and it will do your body good. So there's those options, right? And we all know finances are a thing right now. But, if you eat the healthier foods, they fill you up. Where, you eat a bowl of mac and cheese, you're going to be hungry 10 minutes later, and you're eating processed crap that's going to do your body no good. These are some of the things that I began to incorporate into my body. And yes, I eat meat. I will eat meat. I eat healthy meat. All right. I love tuna. I love sushi. I love salmon. I will eat it. When I get established, I can have a salmon fillet with a little rice and a little, fresh vegetables and asparagus. Healthy foods, guys. And does it raise your vibration? It does your body good. Therefore, you will feel better. You will be in a endorphic mood, right? And endorphins rise your love for yourself, and therefore your body or your energy rises as well. So there is a correlation between it, but it comes down to a personal choice.
Everything is again, nothing is separate from another. It's just understanding the order in which we need to address life, right? But everything has a reason to be there. But everything starts at that lower and fundamental level of emotions, because even overeating has a biodegradable emotional history to it. Why that happened? Why is it that we're eating and binge eating and doing all this has a reason of emotional nature to it. Everything stems from that. I want to address a comment that I believe it was Agent Throne has said that I want to say yes. I am aware that because I was speaking about that Jesus went to the desert, right? 40 days and fasted. And he was saying that that the desert wasn't a physical desert, but the void. And the point is, yes, whether we want to believe that Jesus did exist and did this physically, or did it like went to a void state, right? It doesn't matter. What matters is what he was doing, which was fasting himself, right? And connecting in this way with the universal field of consciousness, or with God. Again, God is everything that exists, and is in, not only is everything, but is in everything, in all creation. So we're able to reach our spirit and our and that field connect more when we're in our, we do all these little things. It is the sum of all these things that we do. Like, he first addressed our emotions. We start taking habits that are good for our bodies. Like, we have grounding practices, we have vibrational frequency, sound baths, all these type of things together, right? That we feel good doing. We should incorporate. That's a good spiritual practice for us, that elevates and maintains, balance our chakra system, right? Our energy centers every single day are good practices that are gonna help us maintain a good spiritual life, a good spiritual life, a balanced spiritual life, because spirituality is not about trying to live as a spirit. We are here. So it's when we integrate the spirit and the physical, integration of our, again, what we were speaking yesterday, remember that feminine and masculine energy, okay? When we integrate those two is where the balance is. And energy always seeks balance. That's why in our fundamental construction block, the atom, there is that neutral, right? That neutral force between the positive and the negative. That is the space of neutrality, of no judgment, of stillness. I compare it. That's that's the state we need to cultivate more.
Oh, that's what we were going to talk about. That's right. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes.
And God, guys, remember when I told you guys what I was struggling with, right? Which was what Vanessa just talked about. We have to have a balance between the negative, or the male and the female, right? When I died, transition home, I was neither male or female. I was everything, right? All one, all encompassing. So that include my divine masculine, male body. I feel that, but also my divine feminine, positive and negative, right?
Positive energy, so that people understand scientifically what that translates to. Is not something intangible, it is tangible.
Right.
A masculine energy is the protons, okay? Protons in atoms, positive energy. Negative energy, magnetic energy, feminine, the one that attracts, the magnetic, the emotions, okay? And the masculine gives to the woman, right? It represents in us. The masculine gives the woman, and the woman receives the man, right? So receive, effector and receiver, electro and magnetic, electromagnetic, always together. And balancing those two energies, which is the yin and the yang also, right? We can say the Chinese, the yin and the yang. But balancing those two, always the neutrals, the state of stillness, the state of no judgment, of acceptance, total acceptance between the two sides. So it is in the integration of those two that our lives take quantum levels. It is not neglecting either side. It is in the integration and balance of those two. So that's my best uh, guidance, right? But I always am speaking about the importance of balancing ourselves, our
But
energy.
it's true, but we don't, right? Because
Ever.
you all identify, well, not us three, but all of you identify with the body, the ego, right? When I say, who are you or what are you? I'm a man. Are you? I mean, that's what you've been taught because that's what you feel. Now, a few lives ago, I told you guys I was struggling with feeling very feminine, like I was struggling and I still am struggling. This has not stopped. And this is
But
something
you,
that we talked about, right? So, and I'll tell you why. And Vanessa and I were chatting about it for over an hour. We had a beautiful conversation where I was feeling like, and I'm struggling with it now, with my divine feminine. I'm like, why am I feeling this way? And it didn't happen after my NDE. It happened like 2 or 3 years after, where I was feeling very feminine, I want to be feminine, right? So I was like, why is this happening to me? And we had this discussion about the twin flame journey, right? Where your twin flame is your same vibrational frequency, your projection out into the physical realm of your very own vibrational frequency, but in a feminine form. So when I am picking up on these very feminine feelings where I want to feel pretty, put on clothes or whatever, right? I am picking up on my twin flame, right?
correct.
She's thinking of me wanting to feel pretty. I am feeling her emotions, no matter where she is around the world.
Mhm.
The yin and the yang, right? I'm feeling my own energy as a divine feminine in my twin flame, which is back in Wisconsin. And you all know when the Holy Spirit said, yes, she's coming when you are established. Well, I kept thinking in my mind,
What does that mean?
what the hell does that mean? Do I need a job, a house? Because that's what the human Jason is thinking, right? And that's not what it was. That was part of the Monday's thing. Was like, oh my God, right? That's the establishment in my mind, the connection of
Balance,
the
establishment.
balance,
When you come
right,
into balance with your two energies.
with my two energies. And unblocking that. Well, it's not about the money, it's not about right the physical realm. It was about coming into balance with my own
Two sides.
mental two sides, right? So I am picking up on integrating my divine feminine in my twin flame, and I'm picking up on her wanting to feel pretty and be with me, right? So I'm picking up not only that, but I'm picking up her sexual energy, right, as well. So when she's worked up, guess who else gets worked up?
Yes.
Me. And I'm like, where the hell is this coming from? When we had this conversation and, yesterday for over an hour, when we said, we've got to talk about this. So that
you
was
were worried.
Right.
But now you're not worried anymore.
I'm not worried anymore. So, now when I want to feel pretty, I know where it's coming from. Where, all of this is coming from. So it's, she's coming because the Holy Spirit said, yes, when you get established. In my physical brain, I'm thinking, do I need the house? Do I need the car? Well, I'm unemployed. I'm homeless. I'm missing the point. The whole point was I need to become established in my
self,
in my own physical mental state, right? It has nothing to do with a physical place. It's my own mind that I have to come into that yin and yang of being established, right? And when that happens, and it did on Monday, right? Because it happened, I felt the transition, right? So that means now she can come, right? Now she's going through the dark night of the soul, right? Where her life is ending, her marriage is ending, her being estranged from her children, her family. Why? Because now she is on a different path, right? That doesn't align with what she grew up with in the church and her family's way of thinking. She no longer feels that way and knows it. Why? Because she's listening to me, right? Not only feeling me, but sneaking in here under a false name and listening to me, right? So that's what where Marie is feeling with her twin flame, right? When she feels that she's in connection with that. So I have been pushing that off because I've been thinking it's a physical place that I need to go, a home, a car, a job, wealth, money. It's not it.
And why? And you were
It's a
worried
mental
that,
state.
and you were worried that you were feeling all these things also. But
Yes,
now
and I'm like,
here.
why do I want to put on
No,
girls' underwear and stuff like
that's
this? Where's this shit coming from? But it's her I'm picking up on, right?
yes.
You know, because she wants and always, you know, Jason, I just want to please you. I want to love you. So it's her way of being, you know,
Yes.
pretty. And that's what I'm picking up on. So I think the exact same thing at the same moment and tell each other, wow, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a very powerful, and we can have a meeting about that alone, okay, and how important it is for these type of relationships to come together into union. The importance when we are called into divine soul contracts, right? Not everybody does have a twin flame, just everybody has a twin flame right now here in, you know, in the physical realm at the same time. But and how important the calling of these relationships are to the world, to the vibration of the world, because it is a journey of healing. Precisely, each one needs to work on themselves to bring their own energy into balance, and these sacred relationships are helping the vibration of the world. So and there are different types. Twin flames are the highest, but there are different types that we can make a meeting about that if you so like, so that you understand the different types of soul relationships that we have and the impact they have in our lives, because they do. Especially the twin flame journey is a journey that awakens, definitely far beyond another, the souls of these two people, so that they can, as I said, bring their work on themselves, on their healing, and elevate the vibration in the world. So they are very highly divinely orchestrated, let's say. They have a very divine purpose here, and they do cause, there is a very strong, you know, bond. It is what we can say in science, understanding science, quantum entanglement. Okay. Quantum entanglement that happens at a very fundamental level. Yes, when atoms entangle themselves in this way, which was one thing that Einstein didn't like at all. He didn't understand quantum entanglement. He was so frustrated about it, right? But yes, these are unions that are have very strong bonding, energetic bonding. So it doesn't matter where we are. That person can be in China, I'm in Puerto Rico, and you're going to experience many times the same exact, you're going to feel like if that person was all the time with you, and you're going to have the same experiences they are having in terms of, again, sensations, emotions, and feelings. You're going to feel like if that person is inside of you, if you are intimately connected in this way, you're going to, if they are feeling bad, you're going to feel bad. That's how powerful these relationships are. And understanding what is going on is very important, so that each person can realize that they are being called to do the inner work they need to do, and to create the balance within themselves, not neglect each side. And most of us have always, the world has functioned for a lot of years. That's why right now we're seeing what's going on in the world. The war and all this is breaking down. It's breaking down the masculine energy, let me say, not the energy that wasn't used, the power and control that represents the masculine, right? Though it hasn't been used in the correct way. So the feminine energy is on a rise. And the feminine energy, which is the receiving energy, if we have an imbalance in our receiving energy, we won't be able to receive money. Okay, receive in all aspects, right? Receive.
That's where I struggle with hardcore.
So that's why they're bringing your particular so that you can realize you need to put in more of your feminine energy in your life. And in the world, that's what's going on. The feminine energy is on a rise. And we're going to see all these power control struggles, structures that doesn't serve the world anymore, breaking down in this way, so that the feminine energy can rise again and be equal, right?
Right. That's what
women have been, since very long time, this the world has been controlled mainly by men, and so this has archetypal energies behind it. Okay, it is a language that expresses itself again as within, so without. So we're gonna see that going on in the world, all these power struggles between countries, right? And the misuse of power and control, and we have to go through this purge so that the good energy, those power and control can be used in a positive way, not in a negative way. So yes, when our neighbor's dog passed, she told us her and her husband each heard her bark, and the same time. No, that's another conversation. Okay.
Well, that's what has to happen for the golden age to come in,
Yeah, you had. Mary says that she never had heard that. Yes, Mary. Yes, Marie or Mary? I don't know. Marie.
It's Marie.
Marie. Okay. Yeah. So Marie, yes. Yeah, and they put the 111, the 1111. Yes, those are the pairs, right? 1111 resembles the twin flames, because it is the pairing of
powerful number.
Yes, 1111. Yes, which means actually it's what the number one is new beginnings. Okay, yep. Number one is new beginnings. So yeah, these are divine callings that we are. Vanessa, you know anything about the 5 stages of baptism? Well, no, not in that way. Are you speaking about I've been for a long time. I do know about the sacred, let me see how I say it, and it doesn't sound sacred secretion. I don't know if that's what you're speaking about.
He's talking about the Christian beliefs of, hearing the word, baptism, belief, repentance, that kind of stuff. That's all Catholic stuff. So
the 5 stages of, well, I don't know. I do know, right? I do know about, but not about the 5 stages. There are, you speaking about the alchemical weeding. Yeah. Well, the sacred secretion is a process that each of us go through every month, every single month. We are unaware of that. But when we align ourselves with that timing, exact timing, which is a different one for each individual, we can reach higher levels of consciousness if we do it in the right way. Okay, sacred secretion is the liquid that comes from the spinal fluid, and it's the energy inside our plasma in our blood. That's what we're bringing, but it's new plasma that's created, and when we bring that liquid, right, which is called the sacred secretion, when we do conscious breathing and we bring that liquid up and that energy up to our pineal gland, very kundalini, we have a kundalini awakening we can have, but we have to know when that is. We go through 2.5 days each month that alignment can be done. And when we fast in those days and we stay out of sex and we don't drink alcohol nor do nothing like that, and we stay as clean as possible, and we meditate to do these things, these stages of healing, again, healing can be created in our body. So I do have videos about that, explaining the sacred secretion and how this goes on. But I was actually tying it to baptism because it is how baptism is represented inside ourselves, because this liquid, this sacred liquid, when we bring up, right, the sacred secretion, it is meant to baptize. Again, it causes us to cleanse. It elevates our vibration. It cleanses our body. It heals our body. So that is this symbology behind baptism. And there's a lot of things we can speak about here, and the symbolisms, right? The infinite symbolisms in our body of our spinal cord and all these things. So it's much in depth than we believe, and a lot of things that have not been understood because nobody,
talks about it.
Now we're hearing about those things, but yeah, we're gonna.
I wanted to add something or not add something, but just throw something out there. I just want to say that there is nothing that you have to do at all to have a conversation with God. Those things are just things that you start to work out inside yourself as you go through your journey and your walk. So I don't want anybody to think that, oh, I got to do this cleansing. I got to watch what I'm eating. I got to change my diet. I got to do this. I got to do that. You don't have to do nothing to start having a conversation with God and walking in that way, walking in that light. That is just all stuff, knowledge and things that come to you as you go through your journey. You learn those things, but at any point in time, you can talk to God and God will talk back to you. You can have a full dialogue conversation just like we're having now with God. And you can be led. You can be led by that energy. That energy can lead you, and more than likely it's going to lead you to the energy of wanting to know, what can I do about my eating habits? What can I do about, getting rid of past traumas? What can I do? That all comes in that and through that. But at any point, there's nothing you got to do to start having a conversation with God.
Nope. And I'm telling you now that your Father speaks to you every single day.
Every day, all day. Even
every day,
even if
okay?
you're going through your every day of your life right now and you're thinking God has never spoken to you. No.
You are
God has
sadly mistaken.
spoken to you every single day, all day.
And
You
you
just
choose
you
to
didn't know,
you
but now
choose to
you
block them
know.
out because you choose not to
Right.
listen to your feelings and emotions. Your
Mhm.
father will speak to you through your heart. Your heart and mind are one. Okay, that is how he speaks to you. So when you get those feelings and you got that, oh, oh, that's silly, I'm not going to listen to it. That's your father speaking to you. Okay, but you are choosing through your free will to not listen to your feelings and emotions. And how many times you guys ask me, Jason, how do you get this knowledge? I wake up sometimes every single day knowing all, different things, right? I wake up being a different person every single day, right? I'm in touch with my feelings. I've reopened my empathy, right? Which is the highest form of love. So my feelings and emotions are open. That's why when I came down and sat down on the bed, he said, "Get the book." Oh shit, man. I put my clothes back on, went down and got the book.
Right.
And there
And
was
it's just like that.
it's
Yes.
just like that, guys. When you do the work, I tell you guys this consistently, okay? Until you do the work, until you do the inner healing to go within your mind. Again, this is not your mind. This runs the suit, okay? This tries to make sense of what you are thinking and dreaming about, okay? You have to control that, which is at home, okay? So to do that, you don't meditation, you don't have to sit crisscross applesauce. When you're doing the dishes and you're quiet, you're meditating, right? Be mindful of your thoughts. When you're mowing the grass, whether you're going for a walk in the woods, you're meditating, you're quiet, you're gone within. This is what I'm talking about, right? Be mindful of your thoughts. Slow your breathing down, okay? You have to do the work. Otherwise, you're not going to go anywhere, right? And you're going to say, "What the hell? Why is this?" Right? You have to emote these emotions, these feelings, these frequencies, right? And that's what I tell you guys. You have to do the work, right? That is how your father is speaking to you. This is how I know these things, because I'm doing the work. I'm asking the questions. I'm getting the answers, right? That's how I quantum jumped. That's how I quantum leaped into where I'm at now. All right. So my physical world will change accordingly now. So you have to do it. You have to be quiet. You have to go within. Shut your electronic devices off. Tell the husband, the kids to go away. Get up early in the morning. Go to bed later, where you can have some alone time, right? Some quiet time. It takes 5 minutes. When you have 5 minutes of just silence without your brain going diarrhea of the mouth,
Yeah,
right?
they're asking actually. Agent Tron is asking does one quiet, and how does one quiet his or her mind? And I would say the best way is through breathing.
Yep.
Best thing is first separate yourself. Again, you silence yourself, quiet, right? You go quiet, no radio, no TV, no telephone, no nothing. Close your eyes, because your eyes are the are very,
Projectors.
yes, and the eyes are dominant. Our eyes are dominant senses, okay? And when they are open, they dominate everything. So to help us quiet ourselves, the best way is to close them. But breathing, then breathing, okay, consciously doing breath work, and I suggest you can search, right? Uh, the rhythm that we create from breathing especially through our nose, and taking deep breath into our belly, which we forget how to do. Normally, when we are breathing from our chest, the oxygen is not lower part of our lungs are where the exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen happen, okay? And so if we're breathing only from our upper part of our chest, that process, we're not oxygenating our blood sufficiently. Okay, so the best way when we learn to start training ourselves, okay, consciously training ourselves to work with our breath, all this combination will help us quiet ourselves. Our anxiety levels are gonna drop. Our mind is gonna be more, and we can do this at any time we feel anxiety. There are different exercises we can do to help us again bring our bodies into balance. So there's a lot of information and videos on YouTube on how to do breath, every type of breath work you can imagine. If you want to, if you feel anxiety, if you feel depression, if you feel, there's different types of breath work we can do for each one. But yes, that for me, that's the best way I can say from one experience that we can, it brings that monkey mind, right? Stops.
Yep.
And that's how we silence. That's what silence is all about. Now we're in a deep relax, because while we're anxious like that, we're going to keep on looping into the patterns, the emotional patterns and the habits. And so we need to auto-regulate ourselves, learn to auto-regulate ourselves, so that we can then bring our body into a state where we can take control. And instead of it controlling us, right, we telling our brain, the patterns that our brain keeps, our nervous system, right, keeps throwing to us, no, you're not going to be in control anymore. I consciously choose to stop you. I'm not going to allow you to take me there anymore. And what you're doing is that you're putting your soul over your mind, over placing your soul as the GPS and not the mind, the monkey mind, and the ego over your soul.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're doing. You're leading by your soul. Your soul is leading now.
Here's a good thing, guys. If you're struggling with it, there's guided meditations, and I would, find a guided meditation no longer than 10 minutes, your first one, okay? Find a dark, quiet place. This is what I did to find how I could, they're going to teach you how to breathe, right? You're going to follow these instructions, right? And you're going to, next thing you know, you're going to be absorbed into this guided meditation. The outside world now is shut off in your mind, okay? You're listening to this, you're focusing in on your breathing. Do it in the morning, it's 10 minutes. Do it at night, 10 minutes. Then you're going to say, well, I want more. Then move that to a 15-minute guided meditation, right? What you're doing is you're taking control of your mind. You're, like she just said, you're shutting out the ego, you're shutting outside all the other crap. You're focusing in on your breath. I do it in the morning when I wake up, and I do it before I go to bed at night. It's my routine, okay? Sometimes mine are 40 minutes or longer because I can do that, all right? I can sit there and focus in on my breathing and stuff. But you're doing is shutting your mind out. But when you have no thought going on whatsoever anymore, right? You've taken that breath, and all of a sudden there's just silence for however long, say 15 seconds. That is your moment that you are divinely connected to your Father instantly, okay? No ego involved, nothing involved. There's silence, no communication at all. That is direct connection. I'm getting the tingles all over to your Father. I've got tingles all over, okay? He's talking to me. So that is his way. You are divine. There's the tingles again, divinely connected to him. Okay. So that is the importance of shutting your mind down, right? They know you're starting to do the work, meaning the non-physical. Okay. They're starting to see commitment, and that's what they want to continue to see. It takes time. It takes effort. This is how you begin to take control of, getting rid of the ego and being in tune with your soul, listening to yourself. You will see a change in you, right? So if you're having trouble, start with a guided meditation, 10 minutes. Okay.
And don't get discouraged if it doesn't work the first time or the second time. Just keep doing it.
Correct.
Because sometimes, you know, if you've never meditated before and you're doing it for the first time and you lay back and you do a 10-minute video and you're like, well, nothing happened. I couldn't stop my mind. I couldn't this. I couldn't that. That doesn't mean that it doesn't work for you. It just means you need to do it again. And then you need to do it again. And the more you do it, the more you'll start, the more you get into that habit. It's because your brain's not in that habit. Your soul, your body, your brain, you know, you are not in that habit. Do it again. Don't give up. And then do it again. And don't give up. And keep doing it. Make it a point of whenever. It doesn't have to be in the morning. It doesn't have to be at night. Whenever you get a free moment of time, stop everything. Do it. Start with a 10-minute meditation is a very good place to start for sure.
This is body building. This is spirit building. Okay.
Yes, it is. Right?
Like going to the gym.
Don't go into meditation thinking something.
No.
Right.
No.
It's a muscle. Right, Vanessa.
It's a muscle. It's a spiritual muscle. I always tell people, look, it's just like, try this. If you never used a leg, for example, if you saw everybody going around just hopping in one, and you never use a leg, what's going to happen to that leg? You're going to copy that same habit because you saw everybody walking in that way, and as a little kid you're going to start hopping, and that other leg, it's going to get, you're not going to be able to atrophy, right? It's not going to be able. This is in the same way. If you don't recognize that you have a soul, a spirit, okay, within you, and that you have to build it, and you have to exercise it, use it, recognize that it's there first, and it's there for something, and then give it things, right? So that you build it and strengthen it, because it hasn't been in use in a long time. Actually, it has been neglected. So when you start using it and you commit to that spiritual gym, however it is for you, because each person needs other stuff, maybe incorporate balancing the chakra system, the energy centers, which I recommend to everybody every single day. Okay, but you can do many things that are simple things. It is the sum of all the little tools that we have that gives us that wellness and well-being in our life. But you are the creator of that, okay? And the commitment that you put into it, taking out, like going to the gym, you go to the gym an hour and a half. Well, you can get this to try it for 15 minutes initially, and then you go progressing and see how it goes, how it feels, right? But yes.
Hold on. But don't go into meditation expecting anything, guys. That's the wrong reason to meditate. Don't. You just go there to find yourself. Okay. Don't expect, well, I didn't see Jesus. I didn't see God. I didn't see any angels. Then don't meditate, because you're doing it wrong. I do it because I love, there's the tingles again, the peace. I have quiet, right? We're all seeking the same thing, right? Peace. We want peace, right? That's what meditation brings me, okay? I go into meditation so I can just be at peace. I expect nothing out of my meditations, and that I get some of the most beautiful, I'll see flashes of white light. And I'll be sitting there just eyes closed in meditation. All of a sudden, I'll see a light flash, or a whoosh, a flash, right? That white flash is home, right? You are connected to home. So don't go into meditation expecting anything, okay? Go in there and just say, I want peace, right? And just
let everything go. Just let everything go.
Listen to that breathing technique.
And if a thought passes by, you just observe it. Like you're observing a car passing by, you observe it passing by and you let it go. You don't stay in the thought. You just observe it. Like if you were, it is like an unfolding of yourself. You don't, you don't, you don't stay in your body. It's like if you were observing as a third person from the outside, right?
Yep.
So you observe the thoughts, whatever thoughts they are, in the monkey mind, right? You observe them, but you observe them from a third person view. Like if you and you let them be, you observe them, you acknowledge them, but you let them pass.
And when thoughts come in, guys, because there is, because that's the
Yeah,
ego.
they are gonna pass.
The ego
Yes.
knows what you are doing. Okay, he knows exactly what you're doing. So you're going to have negative thoughts come in, right? Don't let them come in, and just let them go, right? Just they come in, or you're going to be thinking, all of a sudden I'm thinking, oh, I need to cook breakfast. Let that thought come in, let it go. Okay, don't sit there and, oh my God, you know, let them come, let it go. Continue with your breathing, right? Just, that's why I say start with 10 minutes, because you'll get overwhelmed, because the ego knows what you're doing. It's blah, blah, and it knows, oh, I have to fight for my life now. So it's going to start flooding the mind with incessant bullshit. Okay. Just let it come in, let it go. It's okay, as we said, to recognize the energy, to feel it.
Acknowledge.
Right?
Always acknowledge.
Right. But then let it go. Say, this does me no good, and just continue with it, right? So don't worry about it. That's natural and it's normal.
Yeah, and once you actually get to fully go through a full meditation, you know, regardless of whether it's 10 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever, once you experience an actual experience of what it feels like to meditate and leave clear your entire mind, it's actually very addictive.
It is.
I love meditating. I love going there.
When I started that job, this physical job, and I couldn't meditate, I was like, all right. You know, I got very upset because I would have to lie down, but you're so tired, then, you know, I fell asleep, right? And it's, it really disrupted because I was beginning to do it for 3 years, and I would be in a meditative state for, you know, 45 minutes, and I would know it. I'd be done. I'm like, oh, that was a good 20 minutes. And almost an hour went by, right? Where it's just something that I crave, like the air I breathe. But again, I don't go into meditation expecting anything. Okay. It's like God coming down and sitting on the couch next to me. It's not going to happen. It's not, you're missing the point of it. It's the soul's level of wanting to be at home.
Connection.
Right? It's a connection, right? This is very stressful on our souls to be here. All right. It's left everything it's ever known, right? Which is oneness with Father, to come down here and experience and wrap around this thing and, you know, go through the things we do. It's stressful. So when you can quiet that mind and it can feel connection to home, you will feel, when you wake up or when you get up, you'll like, when I get up, I was like, wow, did that feel good? Right? Your soul is craving it, right? It's craving its connection, and it's talking to you. It's telling you it wants something, right? But we boo-poo it. That's where this meditation comes in. Okay. And incorporate it into your life. Start it with a 10-minute in the morning. Get up earlier. Sometimes I get up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Why? Because everything out in the outside world is quiet, right? There's no outside noises. You can sit there in silence, in the dark, closing your eyes, right? And, you know, mine is a good 40-minute meditation, because I have my positive affirmations. I am, you know, thanking my Father for all that I have, right? I'm grateful for all that I have, right? Gratitude is everything, ladies and gentlemen. No matter the situation I'm in, with whatever little money I have, I am beyond grateful. And I express it in my meditation because I'm one with my Father at that moment. Okay. It's therapeutic for me, and it's what my soul is craving on a daily basis. I will not do it. Okay. Because that brings me peace. So don't go into meditations expecting anything, because then you might as well not even do it, because you're there for the completely wrong reasons.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay, so I just wanted to say that I love all of you beautiful people, but I am checking out because we've been going strong for, I think, 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, my phone is at 13% and I got to cook my kid dinner. He's probably starving right now.
Yeah, we have been going for 3.5 hours. We probably should go.
Yeah, it's time for me to check out, but thank you for getting together tonight. Thank you to the guests for coming on. We're so grateful and thankful that you are here. And so have a wonderful night, everyone, and I'll see you next Saturday again.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Bye, Pam.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Gianna, Luigi, you're 19 and have this understanding of the divine. It can be hard finding some connection to people in my age that have the same understanding, grateful for their father's love and presence.
That's great. That's so young, right?
Well, right, because in youth you're wrapped up in the physical realm, right? You see the physical realm like a drug addict sees its drug, right? The physical world is meant to draw you in. It's addictive, right? The sensations of sex and cars and homes and alcohol, drugs, and all this, right? It's meant to bring you in, but in that same aspect, there's going to be some point in your life when you're going to look at it and say, like you, hon, no more. My life has taken a change. That's your soul talking to you, right? So in your advanced age, soul-wise, I'm sure it is very difficult for you to find and sit down and have a connection with somebody your own age, right? And that's okay that you're coming to us. I mean, don't feel ashamed. Don't feel like, well, am I weird because I'm talking to these two older people that I have more of a connection with than I do people my own age, right? Remember, you're not a body. You're not 19 years old. That's the persona that the world has given you, right? You're seeing through that now, honey. So wherever you find that connection, wherever you find that love connection, go with it. That's your soul speaking to you. You're listening to your feelings. And as we've been talking, your emotions, right? And you look forward to these weekly meetings so your soul can feel alive, enriched, right? And you're more than likely not going to find that in your age group because they're more interested in getting laid and going out and partying and going do this, going that, involved in entranced in the physical world. So good for you is all I can say. And don't worry about what they think of you. All right? You're not better than them. You're just above them in your frequency and your vibration, right? And that's a good thing. So let all of that doesn't serve the soul fall away. That's going to be friends. That's going to be parents, siblings, you name it. It's going to go bye-bye. Okay? But that's your soul kind of taking out the trash. It's not that they're bad. They just no longer serve you. And that's a good thing. So get into that meditative state too, sweetie. Okay? Mornings, nights, right? I've been isolated now for 11 years, and it's going to come to an end as we talked with the twin flame, right? We're merging. So seek those that you feel comfortable with, that you can be vulnerable with, right? That's the soul's way of opening up and saying, let's love one another, right? And that's a beautiful connection because it's the most amazing love, right? So it's almost on a dopamine connection, right? And, I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I don't drink, right? I drink water. I try and eat the best I can on my limited capabilities. But a while back, I did a 3-day dry fast where I drank no water and I drank no food. It was amazing. And I'm telling you now that I can go 7 to 9 days without drinking water or food, right? It's a mind thing, right? So, find those people that you have the connections with. And that's why you all, guys all show up, right? That's why we started this collaboration because Vanessa reached out to me and said, we vibe, right? Let's bring this out into the world together. I'm all for this collaboration, right? So that's why we do this. We don't have to do this for you guys, right? We know the truth. We've had the experience. We know who we are, right? We remembered who we are, which is the whole point of coming here. Right? So we all know, and I say this with absolute certainty, I am God pretending to be Jason Janis. It's that simple. Okay. I remembered who I am. And we do this because we absolutely love and adore each and every one of you. Okay. We want you to get to the point of where we are. We're teachers, we're guides. We're giving you the information. Like Vanessa and I just said, we can lead horses to water. We can't make them drink. Okay. We can give you the information. What you do with it is completely and totally up to you. Right. And during the week, we get together and we say, okay, how do we want to talk to our guys? How do we want to approach, what they're, in the last conversations, what were they needing? Right. So that's how we come to you guys with our information. Right. That long without water and food it was an amazing thing. I didn't think I could do it, and this is when I was working a physical job. And I'll tell you this, when you learn to breathe through your nose and out through your mouth, okay, now that's not how I meditate. I breathe through my nose and out through my nose. But if you keep the tongue at the top of your mouth, just like an inch away from your teeth, and you sit there all day breathing in through your nose, you will find out that you produce a buttload of saliva, right? Your mouth will never be dry. Why do you drink? Because you breathe in through your mouth gets dry, then you get thirsty, right? But what you do when you have your tongue in that position is you produce a boatload of saliva. So what do you do with your saliva? You swallow it. Your throat is never dry. You're ingesting a bodily fluid called somewhat water, right? So I didn't find myself at all needing to drink, and being without food was fine. And I wanted to go 7 days or 9 days, but I didn't. But starting tomorrow, I'm probably going to do that again, fast for 3 days. It's very cleansing. The body feels amazing when you do that, right? It's purging all of the crap that it doesn't need. So when I was living in my car, I was living off a can of green beans a day, 80 calories. Did I die? No. We were told that we need to eat on a breakfast, lunch. Our bodies were not designed to eat the amount of food that we do. Jesus told me we vastly overeat. Okay. I was surviving on a can of green beans a day or a can of beef stew. Okay. 200 calories a day. World says you need almost 2,000 calories a day. So, let loose these, unlearn what you have learned, because you've learned horribly wrong. Okay. And that's what we're here to teach you guys. You've learned horribly wrong. Okay.
We've
and
learned
as soon as I get established in my home and in my thingamabob, I'm going to go back to eating healthier foods, organic, natural foods from Mother Earth, Mother Gaia. All right. But you can do this, so, and a lot of my eating comes from stress because I'm very stressed out. What is stress? It's a lower vibration. I don't like it. So I say, nope, I'm good. This, that, and the other thing. And, Father wants to see you dismissing those thoughts, right? He wants to see you go whoop in your vibration instead of going down, right? So when you hit those negative things, just clear your mind. Say, no, I do not allow that to come in. I understand it's there. I'm feeling it. I don't like it. And, bye-bye. And think positive. Then I get, you guys should have some positive affirmations. Something I go through all the time. I am love. I am light. I am strong. I am powerful. I am beautiful. I am magnificent. I am powerful, right? I give myself, and there's the tingles again through my body. So your soul knows this, right? So you give yourself these positive affirmations all the time, right? And then you block out that negativity, that lower vibrational stuff. So
Wow.
I was fortunate to have a spiritual awakening when I was 17. I started to hear spirits and see them. There are times I'll see, and I have throughout the spiritual experience, I've seen half-bodied apparitions in white robes with a gold waistband or, sash around them, and what you would see Jesus wearing, those types of sandals. I've seen them walk through my room, right? So I'm vibrating at that high frequency that I can see them walking next to me. So find your people. And if this is your people, Gina, then you know, I love having you here. You know, your age means nothing to me, right?
Mhm.
So it's all about our spiritual growth.
That's wonderful. Wonderful.
I rambled on there.
So-
Diarrhea of the mouth.
So thank you so much. Thank you to everybody. Really appreciate.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
times I would just have cut up
Yeah.
5 or 6 strawberries, throw a little yogurt in there, sprinkle some blueberries on it. That's all I ate for the day. Right?
I guess
I can't hear you.
no.
Oh, you want to call it quits?
No, yeah, I need to go.
Time out?
I need
Time to go?
to
Oh, sleepy time. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's late by you. All right,
for
guys.
you guys.
Thanks
For
for
me,
showing
it's
up.
very,
I love all you
very
guys.
late. It's almost 1:00
Okay.
in the morning. But thank you so much. Love you. Love you a lot. Thank you for lending me your ears and being here. Grateful.
Bye, guys. I love you.